This is the brand new second generation Sony 70-200mm f4 lens, and it's pretty exciting because besides being smaller and lighter, there is one new feature in particular that really shocked me about this lens, which I'll tell you about later on in this video. Now, this is Sony's 50th full-frame mirrorless camera lens, and it is completely redesigned from the ground up. The original 70-200 f4 was released 9 years ago, so it was high time for a new version. Now, I don't have the original lens to compare it to, but this second generation lens is 15% shorter and 5% lighter than the original. The length of this lens is also really nice because it stays really nicely balanced in the center, even when it's fully extended. But like the original, this lens still has optical steady shot stabilization, which can be used in combination with stabilization built into cameras, so you can get some really stable shots. It also still uses a 72mm filter thread. Now, let's talk about that shocking new feature about this lens. Most telephoto zooms are terrible at taking macro or close-up shots, but that is not true for this lens. It can shoot at half macro throughout the entire zoom range, so even at 200mm, you can get super close to a subject and still shoot. That's something I've never been able to do with a zoom lens like this before. And there's even a focus range limiter switch so you can easily flip macro mode off and on. This lens is also compatible with Sony's 2 teleconverters, and it maintains that macro shooting ability even with the teleconverters on. When reviewing the images and video that are shot with this lens, I noticed that they're super sharp even at the edges of the frame. Now, the one downside to this lens is the price. It's $1,700 US, which is more than the original 70-200 f4, which is going for about $1,200 at this moment. But it is cheaper than the bigger and heavier f2.8 versions, which are currently $1,900 for the Mark I and $2,800 for the Mark II. This lens is currently available for pre-order starting today, and I gotta tell you guys, besides the macro capability, I love the compact size of this lens. Like, this camera combination right here fits perfectly into my shoulder bag that I typically just bring the bare minimum camera gear that I want to shoot with. And I took this to the zoo the other day, and it was so easy to just stick it in my bag, pull it out when I wanted to shoot, and put it back in the bag. But I'd love to hear from you guys what you think about this lens. I mean, it is a little bit more expensive than the gear that I do review on this channel, but again, compared to Sony's more professional lenses that cost a lot more, this f4 lens and the zoom range is pretty good for those of you who might want to be upgrading your camera gear and getting into the more professional realm of things. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and remember, when in doubt, just shoot it.